The call came on a Thursday night while I was washing dishes. Not unusual. Logan hadn't called in weeks, so when his name lit up my phone screen, I knew exactly what it meant. Money. I dried my hands on the towel hanging from the oven door and hit the speaker button before answering. Evelyn looked up from her book at the kitchen table, one eyebrow raised. I nodded once. She closed the book but didn't move. "Dad?" Logan's voice filled the kitchen, tight and urgent. "Dad, I need to talk to you." "I'm here," I said. Calm, neutral, the same tone I'd use ordering coffee. "We're in trouble." He didn't ease into it. No small talk, no, "How are you?" Straight to the crisis. "The rent. We need help by Friday, or we're out. Like, actually evicted. Tessa's freaking out and I don't know what else to do." I looked at Evelyn. She was watching me with that expression she got when she was reading someone, the one that made her look like she was solving a puzzle in her head. "How much?" I asked. $3,200. "I know it's a lot, but Dad, we're desperate. We've tried everything. I called the landlord, I tried to get an extension, but they won't budge. Friday. That's it." $3,200. He said it like it was nothing, like I had it sitting in a jar on the counter. "Logan," I said slowly, "I can't help." Silence. Then a sharp intake of breath that sounded rehearsed, like he'd practiced it. "What do you mean you can't help?" His voice cracked. "Dad, this is serious. We're going to be homeless. Do you understand that? Homeless." "I understand what you're saying," I replied. "But I can't help." And then he started crying. Not the kind of crying you do when you're actually broken. The kind of crying that comes with performance, with an audience in mind. The sound was too clean, too timed. It rose and fell like a song, hitting all the right notes of desperation without ever losing control. "Please," he sobbed. "Please, Dad, I'm begging you. We have nowhere else to go. You're the only one who can help us." Evelyn's expression hadn't changed. She was still watching me, waiting. I let him cry for exactly 10 seconds. Then I spoke. "Logan, I want you to listen very carefully." He kept sobbing, but I could hear him holding his breath underneath it, waiting for me to cave. "I'm not alone on this call." The crying stopped. Just like that. Cut off mid-sob like someone had hit pause. "What?" "There's someone else on the line," I said. "Someone who's been listening this whole time." "Who?" His voice was different now, smaller, cautious. That's when Mira spoke up. "Hello, Logan. This is Mira Donnelly from Coastal First Bank. I'm a relationship manager in the Fraud Prevention and Account Security Department." The silence that followed was so complete, I could hear the hum of the refrigerator. What?" Logan stammered. Why are you on my dad's phone?" "Because your father called me earlier today," Mira said. Her voice was professional, patient, the kind that made you feel like everything was going to be handled properly. "He had some questions about an account he's associated with. I offered to join this call to help clarify a few details." "I don't understand," Logan said, but I could hear that he did. He understood perfectly. "Logan," Mira continued, "I'm looking at the account ending in 4762. Can you confirm for me that you're aware your father is listed as a joint holder on this account?" Yeah. I mean, that was from a long time ago. We set that up when I was having some trouble and Dad wanted to make sure I didn't overdraft or whatever." "I see," Mira said. "And when did you last discuss this account with your father?" Logan hesitated. "I don't know. A while ago." "Months? Years?" "I don't remember exactly." Mira made a small humming sound, the kind people make when they're reviewing something on a screen. "The reason I ask," she said, "is because we show a notification preference change on this account from 3 weeks ago. The primary contact email and phone number were updated to remove your father's information and replace it with yours exclusively. That's just housekeeping," Logan said quickly. "We both agreed it made more sense for me to get the alerts since I'm the one using the account day to day." Did you agree to that, Mr. Hale? Mira asked me. No, I said. Another silence. This one felt heavier. Dad, come on, Logan said, and now there was an edge in his voice, something sharp underneath the softness. You told me it was fine. You said you didn't need to be bothered with every little transaction alert. I never said that. You did. Last summer, we talked about it. We didn't. This is crazy, Logan said, and I could hear him moving, the sound of footsteps on hardwood. Why are you doing this? I call you for help and you ambush me with some bank person. What is this? Logan, Mira said, still calm, still patient. I need to ask you a few security questions to verify your identity and your authority to make changes to this account. Can you confirm the last 4 digits of the Social Security number associated with the primary account holder? I don't have that memorized, he said. Can you confirm the account opening date? I don't know the exact date. It was years ago. Can you confirm the initial deposit amount? No, I don't remember. Evelyn had picked up a pen. She was writing something on the notepad she kept by the phone, the one where she tracked grocery lists and appointment times. I couldn't see what she was writing from where I stood, but her hand moved quickly, decisively. Logan, Mira said, the primary account holder would have this information. I'm concerned that you may not have had proper authorization to make the changes to the notification preferences. I'm going to need to place a temporary hold on this account until we can verify. That's my money, Logan interrupted. You can't freeze my account. It's not your account, I said. It's a joint account. My name is on it. My Social Security number is on it. I opened it. You were added as a secondary holder. Because you wanted me to have access. I wanted you to have access in an emergency, I said. I didn't want you to lock me out of my own account. I didn't lock you out. You changed the alerts so I wouldn't see what you were doing. That's not. Why did you lie about the account? Mira asked. And Logan stopped talking. The question hung there between us, simple and devastating. I didn't lie, he finally said, but the conviction was gone. His voice sounded thin, stretched. You told your father you needed money by Friday because you're about to be evicted, Mira said. But you have over $4,000 in this joint account. If you needed money for rent, why didn't you use the money that's already there? I closed my eyes. $4,000. I'd been putting $150 in every month like clockwork for years. Emergency fund, I'd called it, just in case. And I'd kept doing it even after Logan stopped mentioning it, even after he'd gone quiet about his finances. Because that's what you do. You prepare. You make sure your kid has something to fall back on, and he'd let it sit there, let it build, while calling me broke and desperate. That money is for emergencies, Logan said. And eviction isn't an emergency? Mira asked. It's complicated. Explain it to me, she said. I don't have to explain anything to you. This is between me and my dad. Then explain it to me, I said. He didn't answer. Evelyn slid the notepad across the table toward me. On it, she'd written a single word in capital letters. Liar. Underneath, in smaller letters. He tried to do this to the utilities, too. I looked at her. She tapped the notepad twice with the pen, then went back to watching me. Logan, I said, I'm going to ask you one more time. Why did you lie about the account? I need to go, he said. His voice was tight now, all the performance gone. Tessa's calling me. We'll talk later. We'll talk now. I can't. I have to. I stared at the phone for a long moment. Then I set it down on the counter, carefully, like it might break. Mira's voice came through the speaker, smaller now without Logan's presence. Mr. Hale, I'm going to send you a secure email with a full account history and the documentation showing the unauthorized changes. You'll need to come into a branch tomorrow to file a formal dispute and reset the account security. Thank you, I said. I'm sorry you're dealing with this, she said, and she sounded like she meant it. Yeah, I said. Me too. The call ended. The kitchen was quiet, except for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of wind against the windows. Evelyn stood up, walked over to me, and put her hand on my shoulder. "You knew?" I said. "I suspected." "How long?" She squeezed my shoulder once, then let go and walked to the drawer where we kept important papers. She pulled out a manila folder I'd never seen before and set it on the table. "A while," she said. I opened the folder. Inside were printouts, bank statements, screenshots of text messages, a copy of a lease guarantee form with my signature on it, a utility account summary showing me as the primary contact for an address I'd never lived at, a photo of a storage unit keypad with a handwritten code taped below it. "How did you get all this?" I asked. "You left your tablet open during Thanksgiving," she said. When I was clearing the table, I saw a notification from that family group chat Tessa runs, the one we're supposedly part of but never see messages from. I remembered that tablet. I'd brought it to Thanksgiving to show Logan some old photos, back when I still thought we were having a normal holiday. "I looked," Evelyn said simply, "and then I kept looking." I flipped through the papers. There were dozens of them. Months of careful collection. Every weird bill, every strange charge, every time my name had been attached to something I didn't remember agreeing to. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. She sat down across from me, folded her hands on the table. "Because I needed to be sure," she said, "and I needed you to see it yourself. If I'd just handed you this folder and said, 'Our son is lying to us,' what would you have done?" I thought about it. Honestly thought about it. "I would have made excuses for him," I said. "Exactly." I looked at the folder again. There was so much. Too much to be coincidence. Too much to be mistakes. "The utilities thing," I said. "What did you mean?" Evelyn pulled out another paper from the bottom of the stack. It was a letter from the electric company, dated 3 months ago. "They sent this to our address by mistake," she said. "It was supposed to go to Logan and Tessa's apartment. It's a disconnect notice for non-payment. But look at the account holder name." I looked. Grant Hale. "I never opened an electric account for them," I said. "I know. How is my name on it?" "Because you're listed as a guarantor on their lease," Evelyn said. "And apparently their lease agreement allows the landlord to open utility accounts in the guarantor's name if the tenant doesn't set up service within 30 days. It's buried in the fine print. Paragraph 14, subsection C." I stared at the letter. The amount due was $647. "They let it go to disconnect," I said slowly. "And they never told me." "They never told you because they were waiting to see if the power would actually get cut," Evelyn said. "And if it did, they'd call you crying about how the evil electric company made a mistake and could you please fix it, Dad, because we're in the dark and it's so cold." The room felt smaller suddenly, like the walls were closer than they'd been a minute ago. "There's more," Evelyn said quietly. I didn't want there to be more. I wanted this folder to be it, the end of the list, the full accounting. But I looked at her face and knew there was more. "The storage unit," she said. "The one with the keypad code. What about it?" "It's in your name. You're the account holder. Logan is listed as an authorized user, but the billing goes to your email. Except they changed your email in their system to an address that forwards to Logan." "How do you know that?" "Because I called them," Evelyn said. "Pretended I was from your bank's fraud department. They were very helpful once I mentioned that we were seeing charges we didn't recognize and needed to verify the account details." I sat down. My legs felt unsteady. "What's in the unit?" I asked. "I don't know yet," she said. "But I got the access code from the photo. It's still valid. I checked." The refrigerator hummed. The wind blew. Somewhere in the house, the heating system clicked on. "Friday," I said. Evelyn nodded. "He said Friday like it was a hard deadline," I said. "Like it was rent or eviction. But if he's got 4,000 in the account—" "It's not rent," Evelyn said. "Or if it is, it's not the only thing. He's got something else due on Friday, something he needs $3,200 for specifically. How do you know? She pulled out another paper. This one was a screenshot, grainy and hard to read. From the group chat, she said. Tessa posted this 2 weeks ago. It's a receipt. I squinted at it. The image was a photo of a payment confirmation, the kind you get when you book something online. The vendor name was partially cut off, but I could read the amount, $3,200. And the date, Friday. What is it for? I asked. I can't tell from the screenshot, Evelyn said, but look at the caption Tessa wrote. I looked. The text below the image read, "So excited. This is going to be perfect. Can't believe we pulled it off." Pulled what off? I asked. I don't know, Evelyn said, but whatever it is, they need your money to pay for it, and they were willing to lie about being evicted to get it. I closed the folder. My hands were shaking slightly, a tremor I couldn't control. They think I'm stupid, I said. No, Evelyn said. They think you're reliable. They think you'll always be there to catch them when they fall, and they've built their whole life around that assumption. I looked at her. Really looked at her. She'd been collecting this information for months, quietly, carefully, while I'd been going about my days thinking everything was fine, thinking my son was just busy, just distant, just going through a rough patch. What do we do? I asked. Evelyn smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the smile of someone who'd already made a decision and was just waiting for everyone else to catch up. We go to the bank tomorrow, she said. We file the dispute. We lock down everything with your name on it. And then we wait. Wait for what? For Friday, she said. Because whatever Logan and Tessa have planned, whatever they think they're going to pull off, it's going to fall apart when your money isn't there to catch them. I thought about Logan's voice on the phone. The crying that stopped the moment he knew I wasn't alone. The lies that came so easily, so automatically, like breathing. This is going to get ugly, I said. Evelyn reached across the table and took my hand. It's already ugly, she said. We're just finally looking at it. The bank opened at 9. We were there at 8:55, standing in the parking lot watching the lights flicker on inside. Evelyn had the folder tucked under her arm. I had my phone in my pocket, charged fully, notifications turned on. Mira met us at the door. She was younger than I'd pictured from her voice, maybe early 30s, with dark hair pulled back in a neat ponytail and glasses that made her look like a librarian who could destroy you in an argument. Mr. Hale, she said, extending her hand. Thank you for coming in. This is my wife, Evelyn, I said. They shook hands. Mira smiled, but it was her professional smile, the one that didn't reach her eyes. Let's go to my office, she said. We followed her through the lobby, past the teller counter where a young guy was counting money, past the ATM vestibule, down a hallway lined with motivational posters about financial planning. Her office was small but organized, everything in its place. She gestured to 2 chairs across from her desk. We sat. Mira opened her computer, typed something, then turned the screen toward us. This is your account, she said, the one ending in 4762. I looked at the screen. The balance showed $4,283.17. Below it was a transaction history going back 6 months. Can you scroll down? Evelyn asked. To the beginning? Mira scrolled. The account went back 7 years. The opening deposit was $500. My $500. Logan was added as a joint holder 3 months after opening, Mira said. At your request, according to the documentation. That's right, I said. He was having trouble with overdraft fees. I thought if we had a joint account, I could transfer money quickly if he needed it. And did he need it? For the first year, yeah, a few times, maybe 500 total. After that, he seemed to stabilize. I kept putting money in anyway, just in case. Mira nodded, still scrolling. In the past 18 months, we show approximately $9,000 in deposits from you. Is that accurate? I did the math in my head. $150 a month, times 18. $2,700. That's not right, I said. It should be around $2,700. Mira highlighted a series of deposits. They were all marked as coming from an external account in my name, but the amounts varied wildly. 300 here, 500 there, one deposit of 1,500 in a single shot. These are all from your checking account, Mira said. But according to your checking account records, you didn't authorize most of them. I stared at the screen. The numbers swam. How is that possible? Evelyn asked. Online banking, Mira said. If someone has access to your login credentials, they can set up transfers between linked accounts. Your son was listed as joint on this account, which means he could see it when he logged into his own banking profile. And if he had your username and password for your primary checking account, he could initiate transfers that would look like they came from you. I never gave him my password, I said. Do you use the same password for multiple accounts? Mira asked. I felt my face get hot. Sometimes, I said. And have you ever logged into your bank account on a shared computer, or a device that your son might have had access to? I thought about Thanksgiving, the tablet, the photos. Yeah, I said quietly. Mira nodded like she'd expected that answer. We're going to need to file a fraud report, she said, and I'm going to recommend that you close this joint account entirely and open a new individual account in your name only. We'll transfer the remaining balance to the new account, and we'll start the process of investigating these unauthorized transfers. What happens to Logan's access? I asked. He loses it, Mira said simply. The account will be closed. He'll get a final statement showing the closure, but he won't be able to access the funds or make any additional changes. I looked at Evelyn. She was watching me, waiting. Do it, I said. Mira started typing. That's when my phone buzzed. I pulled it out. Text message. From Logan. Dad, we need to talk. Can you call me? I showed it to Evelyn. She read it and shook her head. He knows, she said. How? He probably tried to log in this morning, Mira said, still typing. The system would have flagged his access attempt because of the hold I placed last night. He'd get an error message telling him to contact the bank. My phone buzzed again. Dad? Seriously. Something's wrong with the account. Did you do something? I turned the phone face down on my lap. Mira printed something, slid it across the desk. This is the fraud affidavit, she said. You'll need to sign here, here, and initial here. I signed. My hand felt disconnected from my body, like I was watching someone else hold the pen. How long does the investigation take? Evelyn asked. Typically 4 to 6 weeks, Mira said, but given the circumstances, and the fact that your son is the joint holder, it may be complicated. We'll need to determine whether these transfers constitute actual fraud or whether they fall under the scope of joint account access. Legally, joint holders are allowed to move money between accounts unless there's a specific agreement otherwise. So, he might get away with it, I said. He might, Mira admitted. But either way, you'll have control of your funds going forward, and we'll have everything documented in case you need it for other purposes. Other purposes? I asked. Legal action? Credit disputes? Anything where you need to prove unauthorized activity. I hadn't thought about legal action. The phrase felt too big, too serious. My phone buzzed 3 more times in quick succession. I didn't look. Mira finished typing, printed out another document. This is your new account information, she said, ending in 7291. The full balance from the old account has been transferred, and I've set up automatic fraud monitoring. You'll get a text alert for any transaction over $50, and you'll need to set up a new password and security questions before you can access it online. Thank you, I said. She stood. We stood. Mr. Hale, she said, I know this is difficult, but you did the right thing coming in. I nodded. I didn't trust myself to speak. We walked out of her office, back through the hallway, past the motivational posters. The lobby was busier now. A line had formed at the teller counter. People waiting, phones in hand, living their normal Friday mornings. We were almost to the door when I saw him. Logan. He was standing by the ATM vestibule, staring at the screen, jabbing at the buttons like they'd personally offended him. He hadn't seen us yet. Evelyn grabbed my arm. "Keep walking," she whispered. But I couldn't. I stood there frozen, watching my son punch numbers into a machine that wouldn't give him what he wanted. He must have felt me staring because he looked up. Our eyes met. For a second, neither of us moved. Then Logan's face changed. The frustration melted into something else, something I couldn't quite read. He started walking toward us. Evelyn's grip on my arm tightened. "Mr. Hale," Logan said loudly, and I realized he was using my formal name, making a show of it for the people around us. "I'm so glad you're here. We need to talk about this account issue. There's been some kind of mistake." "There's no mistake," I said. He reached us, lowered his voice. "Dad, what did you do? I tried to log in this morning and everything's locked. I have bills due, I have payments scheduled. I need access to that money." "It's not your money," I said. "It's our money. It's a joint account. You gave me access." "I gave you access for emergencies," I said, "not to steal from me." People were starting to look. A woman by the teller line had stopped filling out her deposit slip and was watching us openly. "I didn't steal anything," Logan said, and his voice was getting louder, more emotional. "How can I steal from my own account? This is insane. You're being crazy." "Logan," Evelyn said quietly, "you need to calm down." He ignored her, focused entirely on me. "What about Friday?" he asked. "What about the rent? You said you couldn't help, but now you're locking me out of money that I need to keep a roof over my head." "You have $4,000, I said. "Use it." "That money is for—" "What?" I interrupted. "What is it for, Logan? What's more important than rent?" He didn't answer. His jaw was clenched so tight I could see the muscle jumping. "I talked to Mira," I said. "I know about the transfers. I know you were moving money from my checking account without asking." "You gave me your password," he said. "I never gave you my password. You use the same password for everything. That's basically giving it to me." The logic was so twisted I almost laughed. "Get out of my way," I said. "We're not done talking." "Yeah," I said. "We are." I stepped around him. He grabbed my shoulder. It wasn't aggressive exactly, not violent, just contact, just enough pressure to stop me from walking. But Evelyn saw it. "Don't touch him," she said, and her voice was cold as ice. Logan let go like I'd burned him. "This isn't over," he said. "You can't just cut me off like this. I'll call the bank. I'll file a complaint. You'll what?" Evelyn asked. "You'll tell them you were stealing from your father's checking account, and now you're mad he caught you?" Logan's face went red. "I didn't steal," he said. "I never stole. And you know what? If Dad was a better father, if he actually helped when we needed him instead of making us beg for everything, we wouldn't be in this mess." The words hit harder than a hand would have. Evelyn started to say something, but I held up my hand. "We're leaving," I said. "Don't follow us." We walked to the door. I could feel Logan standing behind us, his presence like heat on my back. Just before we reached the exit, he called out one more time. "Friday," he said. "Remember Friday, Dad. When we're out on the street, remember you did this." We didn't stop. We walked to the car, got in, closed the doors. Evelyn started the engine. Neither of us spoke until we were 3 blocks away. "He was always a good liar," Evelyn said finally. "Even when he was little. He'd look you right in the eye and make you believe whatever he wanted you to believe." "I know," I said. "But you saw it today, didn't you? You saw the real him." I looked out the window at the gray morning, the bare trees, the houses sliding past. "Yeah," I said. "I saw." My phone buzzed. I looked. New text. From an unknown number. "Storage gate code updated. Your access has been changed. Please contact facility management for assistance. I showed it to Evelyn. She didn't look surprised. He's escalating, she said. What do you mean? The account, the storage unit? He's trying to lock you out of everything before you lock him out. She glanced at me. We need to get to that storage facility, now. Saturday morning came with bright sun and cold wind. I woke early, made coffee, and stood at the kitchen window watching birds fight over the feeder in the backyard. Evelyn came downstairs at 7, already dressed. Sleep okay? She asked. Better than I expected, I said. She poured herself coffee, sat at the table. I got an email, she said. From Drew, the leasing manager. I turned from the window. What did it say? He wants to meet. Says there's been a development with Logan and Tessa's lease. What kind of development? He didn't specify, just asked if we could come in this morning. I checked the clock. 7:15. He sent this early, I said. He sent it at 6:30, Evelyn said, which means something happened last night after we left. We finished our coffee, got dressed, drove to the apartment complex. Drew's office was open even though it was Saturday. He was at his desk when we arrived, looking tired. Mr. and Mrs. Hale, he said. Thanks for coming in. What happened? I asked. He pulled out a file, opened it. Last night around 11 p.m., we received a noise complaint from Unit 410. That's directly below Unit 412, your son's apartment. What kind of noise? Evelyn asked. Shouting, banging, things breaking. The tenant in 410 said it sounded like a fight. Was anyone hurt? I asked. No. Our night security guard went up to check. He knocked, identified himself, and your son opened the door. The guard observed broken items inside the apartment. Dishes, a lamp, what looked like a chair. What did Logan say? He said it was an accident, that they'd been moving furniture and things got knocked over. At 11 p.m.? Evelyn asked. That's what I said, Drew replied. But according to our lease terms, unless there's evidence of violence or illegal activity, we can't act on a single noise complaint. We issued a warning, told them any further disturbances would result in lease violation proceedings. So they're still there, I said. For now, Drew said. But here's the thing. This morning I got another call from the tenant in 414. That's next door to your son. What did they say? They said they heard the same thing, fighting, shouting, things breaking. And they said it's been happening for weeks. They just never reported it before because they didn't want to cause trouble. He pulled out another paper. I also got a call from the property management company. They reviewed the payment history for Unit 412 and discovered some inconsistencies. Like what? I asked. Like payments that were posted but then reversed. Like NSF fees that weren't followed up on. Like a pattern of late payments that should have triggered warnings but didn't. How is that possible? Evelyn asked. Drew looked uncomfortable. I think someone was manipulating the system, he said. Making payments look successful when they weren't. Covering fees that should have been charged. I don't know how yet, but I've asked IT to review the account access logs. You think Logan had someone on the inside? I asked. I think Logan is very good at making friends when he needs them, Drew said. And I think someone here may have been helping him avoid consequences. Evelyn leaned forward. What happens now? Now I have enough to recommend lease termination, Drew said. The noise complaints, the payment irregularities, the potential staff misconduct. It's enough for a 3-day notice to quit. How long until they're out? I asked. If they don't contest it, 3 days. If they do, it could take a few weeks. But either way, your obligation as guarantor ends when the lease is terminated. I felt something loosen in my chest. Thank you, I said. Don't thank me yet, Drew said. They're going to fight this, and they're going to try to drag you into it. Let them try, Evelyn said. Drew handed me a copy of the notice. This will be posted on their door this afternoon, he said. I wanted you to know before it happens. We thanked him and left. In the car, Evelyn was quiet. You okay? I asked. I'm thinking, she said. About what? About what happens when Logan sees that notice. He'll call, I said. He'll do more than call, she said. He'll come here. To our house? Maybe. Or he'll try to intercept us somewhere. Or he'll make a scene somewhere public where he thinks we can't respond. I thought about the texts from last night, the anger, the threats. What do we do? I asked. We stay ahead of him, she said. We don't go anywhere alone. We keep our phones on, and we document everything. She was right, of course. We drove home, locked the doors, closed the blinds. At noon, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered anyway, put it on speaker so Evelyn could hear. Hello? Dad? Logan's voice was thick, like he'd been crying. Dad, please. I need to talk to you. I'm listening, I said. Not on the phone. In person. Please. Just give me 5 minutes. No. Dad, please. I know I messed up. I know I lied, but I can explain. I can make it right. Just give me a chance. You've had plenty of chances, I said. I'm your son, he said. Doesn't that mean anything to you? It used to, I said. Before you treated me like an ATM. I never. You did, I interrupted. You used me. You manipulated me. You stole from me. And when I caught you, you tried to make me look incompetent. I was scared, he said. I didn't know what else to do. You could have told the truth. I tried, but you wouldn't listen. Because you were lying, I said. Silence on the line. Then, they're kicking us out. I know. You know. How do you know? Drew called us this morning. Of course he did, Logan said bitterly. Of course you're still monitoring everything, still controlling everything. I'm not controlling anything, I said. You got yourself kicked out. The noise complaints, the payment issues, that's all you. Those complaints are fake, he said. Someone's setting us up. Who? I don't know. Maybe you, maybe Evelyn, maybe Drew, all of you together. We didn't need to set you up, I said. You did that yourself. I need help, he said. His voice cracked. Dad, please. We have 3 days to find a new place. We don't have money for a deposit. We don't have references. No one will rent to us now. That's not my problem, I said. I'm your son. You stopped being my son when you decided I was just a wallet. That's not fair. None of this is fair, I said. But it's what you chose. He was quiet for a long moment. Then, you're really not going to help me. No, I said. Even if we end up homeless. You won't end up homeless, I said. You have money. I saw the bank statements. 12,000 in checking, 8 in savings, 26 in a money market account. How do you know about those accounts? His voice had changed, harder now. The storage unit, I said. You left the statements there. You had no right. I had every right, I said. It's my storage unit. Those accounts are private. Then you shouldn't have stored the paperwork in a unit I pay for. He made a sound like a laugh, but there was no humor in it. You've really thought of everything, haven't you? He said. You and Evelyn. You planned all of this. You wanted to destroy me. We didn't destroy you, I said. We just stopped letting you destroy us. I never tried to destroy you. You tried to make me look incompetent, I said. In front of everyone, at the gala, you told people I had memory issues, that I was confused, that I needed help. Because you were acting crazy. I was acting like someone who'd been lied to, I said. Because I was. Another silence. I hate you, Logan said quietly. The words should have hurt more than they did. Okay, I said. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say, Logan? You've made it clear how you feel about me. You've called me a sucker. You've laughed about how easy it is to manipulate me. You've planned out exactly how to use me and then discard me when I was no longer useful. That's not... It is, I said. I have the emails. I have the bank statements. I have the fake lease documents. I have everything. Fine, he said. Fine. You win. You've destroyed my life. Congratulations. I didn't destroy your life, I said. I just stopped being part of it. I set the phone down. Evelyn was watching me. You okay? She asked. I don't know, I said. She came over, put her arms around me. You did the right thing, she said. Did I? Yes. I wanted to believe her. That afternoon, my phone rang again. This time, it was a number I recognized. Mira. Mr. Hale, she said, I wanted to give you an update on the fraud investigation. Okay. We've completed the preliminary review. Based on the evidence, we're classifying the unauthorized transfers as fraudulent activity. That means you'll be reimbursed for the full amount that was moved without your explicit authorization. How much is that? $6,400. I sat down. That much? I said. That much, Mira confirmed. The reimbursement will be processed within 5 business days. You'll also receive a formal letter from our fraud department documenting the findings, which you can use for any other disputes or legal proceedings. Thank you, I said. There's one more thing, she said. Logan attempted to access the account again this morning. We denied the access and logged it as additional evidence of unauthorized activity. What did he say? He claimed it was an error, that he'd forgotten the account was closed, but the system logs show he tried multiple times with different passwords. He's trying to get back in, I said. He is, Mira agreed, but he won't succeed. We've placed additional security flags on all your accounts. If anyone tries to access them without your direct authorization, we'll be notified immediately. I appreciate that, I said. You're welcome. And Mr. Hale, I'm sorry you had to go through this. Me too, I said. The call ended. Evelyn had been listening. 6,000? She asked. 6,000, I repeated. She whistled softly. That's a lot of manipulation, she said. Yeah. Sunday passed quietly. No calls, no texts, no unexpected visitors. But Monday morning brought something new. A knock on the door at 8 a.m. I looked through the peephole. 2 police officers. I opened the door. Grant Hale? One of them asked. Yes. We need to ask you some questions about a harassment complaint. My stomach dropped. What kind of harassment complaint? Your son filed a report claiming you've been harassing him, threatening him, interfering with his housing. Can we come in? I stepped back, let them in. Evelyn appeared from the kitchen, saw the officers, went very still. What's this about? She asked. We're investigating a harassment complaint, the officer repeated. He pulled out a notebook. Logan Hale claims his father has been sending threatening messages, showing up at his apartment, and working with his landlord to have him evicted illegally. That's not true, I said. Can you tell us your side? I explained. Everything. The fraud, the bank investigation, the lease documents, the gala, the storage unit. The officer listened, took notes. Do you have documentation? He asked. I showed him the folder from Mira, the bank statements, the fraud investigation letter. He read through it carefully. And the landlord? He asked. Did you work with them to have your son evicted? No, I said. The landlord contacted me because I'm listed as guarantor. They made their own decision based on lease violations. What kind of violations? Noise complaints, payment irregularities. The officer made more notes. And these messages your son claims you sent. Do you have copies? I never sent him any messages, I said. He sent me messages, threatening ones. I blocked the numbers. Can you show me your block list? I pulled out my phone, showed him. 12 blocked numbers, all from Friday night. The officer took photos of the screen. Mr. Hale, he said finally, based on what you've shown me, this appears to be a retaliatory complaint. Your son is trying to use the police to intimidate you. What happens now? I asked. We'll file a report documenting both sides. If your son wants to pursue this further, he'll need to provide actual evidence of harassment. Protecting yourself from fraud isn't harassment. Thank you, I said. They left. Evelyn closed the door behind them, leaned against it. He called the police, she said. He's desperate, I said. He's dangerous, she corrected. People do unpredictable things when they're desperate. She was right. That afternoon we got a letter. Not in the mail, hand-delivered, taped to our front door. It was from an attorney. Logan's attorney, apparently. The letter claimed I had defamed Logan at the gala, that I had interfered with his housing, that I had accessed his private documents without authorization, that I had caused him emotional distress. They were demanding $5,000 in damages. I showed it to Evelyn. She read it, then laughed. This is ridiculous, she said. They're suing me, I said. They're threatening to sue you, she corrected. This is a demand letter. It's not a lawsuit. It's intimidation. What do we do? We ignore it, she said. Or better yet, we send it to our own attorney and let them handle it. We don't have an attorney, I said. Then we get one, she said. This is worth the investment. She was right again. We found a lawyer who specialized in fraud cases, sent him everything. The bank documents, the emails, the fake lease papers, the demand letter. He called us 2 days later. Mr. Hale, he said, you have an excellent case if you want to pursue legal action against your son.